Well, guys, I know I'm in a messy post-production area, but I feel like I need to warn everybody. You're either going to love this video or you're going to hate it. And it's a long one because they decided to put out a box of crappy medical stuff. So you know I got a lot to say. So this is your advance warning. If you want to hear me trash the stuff and go off on it for like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes, this is the video for you. If that's not what you're into, you might just want to skip this one. I'll be honest. But here we go. This is a terrible box and a terrible video about it. Hey guys, I am back, and so this is going to be a little different. So we've got Gear Pack, thanks to Jason, because Jason's awesome. We love Jason. Jason's one of the greatest supporters of this channel in the history of ever. So this is already open. I have not looked inside the box. Dave was over here hanging out, talking about some stuff. Mostly the Fifth Element, yeah. But Dave peeked inside the box just to sort of see, and he was so excited for me to look at what's in the box, and not in a good way. He can't wait to see my reaction. So the box is open so that he could have kind of looked at it, and he had some giggles going on. Not like my giggles, you know, but like what was about how I'm going to react to what's in the box. So, all right. So you guys, I'm going to get ready to do this. You guys, you know, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, share. I don't know, get yourself a nice frosty beverage, whatever, you know. Let's take a look at what is in Gear Pack for August 2023. It is Friday, August 11th, just to kind of time, space, continuum this video. Let's see what we've got. Oh no. Man, like, once again, I really missed the boat on the fortune of this stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we are gonna Medical 2.0. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry for your misfortune at me having to unbox something called Medical 2.0. Some of you guys are gonna love this, and some of you guys are gonna hate this. Let's go. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is very medical. This is absolutely a medical instrument. Yep. Oh, 42-piece medical kit? I thought this was like survival food. Okay, all right, okay. I got you. What the? Is this for like trauma? I don't know. We'll get there. Oh, dear sweet baby Jesus in heaven. What the? Wow. Oh boy. Oh guys. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. With all due respect and honor to the man, I do say, oh yeah. Aiden just got a mod for Fallout 4, because we still play Fallout 4 even though it's old, and all of his death claws are now Macho Man. He didn't know who Macho Man was. He just thought it was hilarious that this guy in the sunglasses and the cowboy hat and everything and like little shorts was running around going, oh yeah, like, anyway. So here we go. Woo! This is gonna be good. Oh, if ever there was a time for a drunk unboxing. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Oh boy. So, Gear Pack. Jason, boy, do I owe you for this one, because this is going to be great. Oh. So, Gear Pack has levels just like, you know, kind of like Battle Box. 4 levels. So Jason gives us the ultimate here, so we get everything. But like if you subscribe to the Basic Plus, you get everything in the Basic Plus and the Basic, and so on. So all prices are MSRP, remember that, in dollars, US dollars. So we'll just go through this and we'll have a good old time. Oh man. You guys always you love when I do medical stuff, because, so if you're new to the channel, if you don't know, so my military career, my first 8 years were in the Army. It's very short time doing cavalry scouty stuff. The vast majority of that time was as a combat medic. Deployment time and everything included. Then the next 13 was in the Air Force doing close air support stuff. But I was also a medical augmentee working with the individual duty medical technicians, which are like amazing field medics. So I've been, and I also have a background working in the emergency room and on an EMS ambulance, volunteer firefighter on the ambulance. So medical stuff is my thing. Now I'm a little out of date, honestly. A lot of stuff has changed, which is why I don't do a lot of like actual medical videos. People say like, why don't you do medical videos showing medical stuff? Going over medical equipment is my thing. And if you're new here, you're in for a ride. So anyway, so we're going to start in the basic box, which costs $19.99. They say the total value is $28.98 with a Marshall Outdoors Survival Kit, medical, which they give a value of $24.99. It looks like survival food. I mean, from the outset, they give you this, but we'll go over it. We're gonna rip it open. Jason always gives me permission to like open stuff and look at stuff, and we'll probably put this into a pouch, like an actual pouch, worthwhile pouch, later on. What I won't do is open up anything that's sterile, because once you open up a sterile package, it's no good anymore. So they call this, what is this? This is the 42-piece medical survival kit, hand-packed in the USA. Hand-packed in the USA tells us that a lot of the stuff is probably not made in the USA, but whatever. Got to look at the wording very carefully. So what it looks like we have here is basically a first aid kit when they talk about medical survival kit. And that's fine. I'm not arguing that, whatever it is. These tweezers are... All right, we'll get back to it. So I'm gonna go down the inventory they have here in the bag as we look at stuff. The first thing is 14 3¼ by 3-inch bandages, and what they mean by that are Band-Aids, plastic strips. Technically, they're Band-Aid is a brand. I say this all the time. Band-Aid is a brand, like Kleenex is a brand, and technically they're facial tissues. But we just call all of these Band-Aids. Okay. And I say this all the time to people. In any first aid kit, the item, even like a field first aid kit, the item you're most likely to use out of all your fancy stuff, freaking Band-Aids. Out in the field, little cuts and scrapes and stuff, even though it's not a big deal, and like some guys are like, oh, I'm so tough, I don't need it. No, but dude, as your medic, I don't want that shit getting infected in the middle of the desert or the jungle or wherever doing training. Cover that shit up so that other stuff doesn't get into it. So you're going to use Band-Aids a lot, and especially in a civilian type world, you know, it just makes sense if you get a cut, if you get a scrape, and we're talking minor. We're not talking lacerations and jagged wounds and stuff. Just cover your damn thing with a Band-Aid. But that's the most commonly used item in any medical kit, any first aid kit, unless we're talking serious trauma stuff. So can't argue with Band-Aids. These are generic. You know, I don't know how good they are. Some of these cheap generic ones, you know, if you try to stretch them around, like to put them on real tight, they'll actually just rip. But I don't know. So we got 14 of these, 3¼ inch by 3-inch bandages, Band-Aids. Okay. Says we're supposed to have 3 of these butterflies. I see 2. I just might not be seeing the third one. I don't know. Maybe it'll pop in. Butterflies are for, so if you have a slightly deeper, I mean, we're not talking about something that needs to be like sutured, but if you have a slightly deeper, and we're talking a incision, not a laceration. A laceration is jagged, like the kind of thing you get from broken glass. A nice straight, relatively clean cut, that's an incision. You can use your butterfly to kind of pull the skin closed and put this on there. You wouldn't use this. There's a difference between a butterfly and like a regular Band-Aid. You get this much area to cover a cut or a scrape, but you use a butterfly to kind of pull skin together and kind of pull the tissue together with a butterfly. It's a little bit different. I don't see it, the third one. It doesn't mean it's not here. It might be mixed in among these, but it says we're supposed to get 3. I only see 2. You can easily buy butterflies in a box. They're not expensive. Maybe we'll find it as we go, but they said you get 3. You should have 3. I don't see it. Okay. So that's that. BZK antiseptic towelettes. I always mispronounce this. I always say benzochlorium, but that's not it. What are they? Benzalconium chloride. So this is, you put this on the skin. You can put it directly on a small wound. It's going to sting, but it disinfects. It's not quite an alcohol pad. It's not quite iodine. So you get a scrape or a cut. You use this on the area, and then you put your Band-Aid on. So if there's, what can happen is if there's bacteria on your skin, and there is always bacteria on your skin though, all the time. Don't freak out. You're not dirty. You're not dying. It just, we exist in a world where there is always bacteria, and that's okay. But you don't want it getting into your body. Your skin is a very good protection layer for keeping stuff out. When you open an avenue of entry, some of that bacteria can get in. That's how you get an infection. So this, when you do get a scrape, a cut, or scrapes are more prone to get infected because there's more open surface area than just a regular cut. You use this, and then you can. So anyway, okay, there we go. Not bad. I mean, like I said, this is a basic first aid kit is what this is. 4 alcohol prep pads. I don't see them either. Is there stuff still in the bag? There is stuff still in the bag. Okay, I'm sorry. Look at that. Okay, here's our third butterfly. All right. Alcohol prep pad also. When you get antibacterial hand gel, it's the majority of it is alcohol. It is just basically alcohol. And alcohol will kill a lot of that surface bacteria that's on your hand. So use it for the same kind of thing. This is going to sting if you put it on a cut or a scrape, but you can use that to disinfect an area, or, you know, where's the tweet? You know, you can use it to wipe down your tweezers or whatever. Okay, there you go. 4 safety pins. Now we're going to use this. Well, we would use this if we were making possibly like a sling and a swath, but they don't give you the materials to do that. You could use any kind of fabric to make a sling but that's a little bit bigger than just regular first aid. Sling, any kind of sling and swath, any kind of joint injury, break. I'm not going to get into fractures and stuff, but you got 4 of them there. That's typically what you'd use them for in this kind of scenario, but they don't give you the materials to do that with in this kit. Okay. 2 pairs vinyl exam gloves. So these are not sterile. Okay. Sometimes they give you sterile gloves. These are not. So these don't protect the wound or the patient. These are to protect you as the person giving first aid from whatever nasty, disgusting germs the victim that you're treating has. And we used to say this, you know, me as a first aid instructor, I would always tell people, you know, I used to teach at the Red Cross, like, oh, you could love this person, they could be your best friend. They could not know what kind of horrible, nasty, bloodborne pathogens they have in their own body, or anything like that. You always protect yourself, no matter what. And that's what these are for. They're vinyl because there are people with allergies to latex. Vinyl are the absolute worst kind of gloves to have, though. They don't form fit to your fingers. Nitrile is a really good substitute for latex. Latex rubber gloves are the best form fitting and everything, but again, people get latex allergies. Nitrile gloves are the best. These are the cheapest, but they will protect you from. Remember the old magic rule in EMS, if it's wet and it's not yours, don't touch it. And it's funny sounding, but it's true. This will protect you from stuff like that. You might have a cut or a scrape on your hand that you don't even know about. And you go and you try to give first aid to somebody that's bleeding, and guess what? Bam, their HIV or whatever it happens to be, hepatitis, doesn't matter, gets from their blood into your cut that you didn't know about, and you're infected now. So, but that's what these are for. 1 EMT shears. These are small. They come in bigger sizes. These will cut through clothes. I mean, the bigger ones have the leverage to cut through a pinky if you really try, and I used to show off that you can use the bigger ones to cut right through a penny. They don't do much after cutting through a penny, but they'll do it, and I've done it plenty of times. These are made, I mean, the really good ones, I don't know how good these ones are, to cut, mainly to cut through clothes to expose an injury so you can treat it. But good to have. And they're purple. Purple's pretty cool. You'll notice that you'll see in the world there are larger size ones that are just, I think, more comfortable to use, and again, bigger, more power. Now these tweezers, they're not great. I mean, I guess they'll do. I like, there are much better medical tweezers and forceps than this. I guess this is just for like trying to pull out a splinter, but you know, or something like that. But you'll see it doesn't come to a very fine point. So there's going to be a lot of things you're not going to be able to do with it. But they give you tweezers, you got tweezers. I'm not going to get too much into it after that. Okay. One 5x9 abdominal pad, and this is like the lamest abdominal pad I've ever seen. It's not sterile. It doesn't even come in a wrapper. It's not very thick, so you would use this for like a major bleed, like a big bleed, but like I wouldn't even want to put this on somebody because it's already contaminated. What the fuck? Why is this not in a wrapper? This is almost, I mean, listen, if you got nothing else, you got nothing else. But this is almost guaranteeing that you're going to, I mean, you're going to introduce an infection. Now, the school of thought is, hey, if they don't bleed to death, you can treat an infection later. Maybe you can. You don't know what the infection might be or how it might spread through the body, but I mean, this is ridiculous. This is not a suitable medical item. This should be thrown out. This needs to come in a sterile package. And this is the lamest abdominal pad I've ever seen. It's supposed to be, it's a larger, more absorbent thing. This is a regular gauze pad. This is an abdominal pad. This is garbage. This is useless. One sterile gauze wound dressing. I mean, anything less than 4 of these is, again, useless. This is a piece of gauze, so this is sterile, so you'd open this up, you'd put this against the injury, and then you'd wrap it with a bandage. One is, you need more. One cohesive bandage, Coflex. So this is great. I love this because it sticks to itself. So remember that a dressing goes directly on the wound, needs to be sterile. A bandage goes over the dressing and secures stuff to it. It does not need to be sterile. Coflex is awesome. You're probably used to this when you give blood. They usually put the little gauze on there and then wrap this up. When you give blood, get a blood test or whatever. This is really useful to have. You can use this for a number of things. I mean, it's not expensive. You can buy it almost anywhere. You should have Coflex in all your bug out bags, your medical kits, whatever, because you can use it to secure stuff to stuff all the time. But it's a great medical item to have for a number of things. 140 by, okay, so now where's the, okay, now I know I got everything out of here. So they say a 40 by 40 by 56 triangular bandage. Now there's nothing else in this bag that I didn't already get out. Remember I talked about making a sling? And that's what the safety pins are for? There's no triangle bandage. I'm looking. The triangle bandage is specifically what you would use to make a sling. And you need 2 of them. One of them, okay. So it says one triangle bandage. I don't have one to show you, but you use one triangle bandage to make the sling, and then the swath goes around the sling to secure, and I can't even, it's not here. It's just not here. So that is genuinely missing from this kit. It is absolutely missing from this kit. There's nothing else here. So it's missing that. And that's a pretty important thing to have. One roll of surgical tape. This tape is okay. This is paper tape. I don't like this tape. 3M Transport is the absolute best medical tape to get. Look it up and get it, okay? One latex-free tourniquet. This is the kind of tourniquet you use when you're giving blood, when you have a blood test. This is not a very good effective tourniquet, like out in the world. Garbage. And then a resealable bag. So I guess you can put this all in the bag. You can put your used waste in the bag. This started out to be an okay kind of first aid kit. It ended up being just crap. This is like missing. First of all, we don't have our triangle bandages. Second of all, it's woefully understocked. Not worth $28 at all, or $24. It's not even worth the $24.99. This is terrible. You can get a better first aid kit, better stocked at Walmart for less money. You can start with this and build off of it. But why? When for less money you can go to Walmart or a number of other places and just get a better stocked first aid kit in a better package. in an actual package. On Amazon, you can get it in an actual, like, nylon, well-organized, MOLLE-compatible pouch. Garbage. Absolutely. Not only don't like it, fuck you. I'm introducing a new pile. Fuck you. Okay. All right. And then we've got the pupil dilation medical flashlight for $3.99. This is already unscrewed, so I'm just going to see. Does this... Oh, we've got no batteries. Fantastic, then. So I'm going to have to get batteries and test this out. Now, why are... Show of hands, and you can answer this in the comments. How many of you even know the significance of pupillary size when evaluating a patient? Or how many of you, this is what we're looking for. If you're doing first aid, do the pupils react to light? Are the pupils equal in size on both sides? And are the reactions equal in speed, in time? Are pupils, this is what we document on the ambulance, pupils are even in size and reaction to light. Now, there are certain things in a medical situation that you might want to document your pupil size for. The bigger thing we're looking for is one pupil blown out and one pinpoint. You know, that's a definite indication, like unequal pupil size like that, of a head injury. Are pupils not reactive to light? That's a problem. Is like one reactive, one's not? That's a problem. If we have, fully dilated pupils, unreactive, they're dead. Are the pupils pinpoint, or are the pupils just dilated, in general? Well, then we might be looking at different medical things, or drug use. But how many of you actually care or need, in a first aid scenario, a millimeter dilation guide? It seems to me. So for like 99 cents, you can just get a one of the, remember the good old just white pen lights where you press the side and it goes on. You don't need to put batteries in it. $3.99 for this, and I'm sure you can find this for less than $3.99. Whatevs. Okay. It's an important thing to be able to check if you know what you're doing. The majority of people in the world don't know what they're doing to check pupillary reflex anyway, but it is what it is. I'm going to get some batteries real quick. So, you don't want this to be very bright because you're not trying to like burn somebody's retinas out, but at least it works. I don't know. Okay, better to have than not have, but I don't know. I don't know. It's not really a first aid thing. Like it's who, how. Once again, you can answer in the comments who's qualified to check for neurological deficits, based on pupillary reflex. I'm just saying. I don't know, but it's not bad to have. I'm saying, like, it in general, a little pen light is good to have. I just pupil dilation medical flashlight, $3.99. Price is a ripoff, and I'd rather have a practical medical item than this thing, is what I'm saying. So, I won't say you're in the fuck you pile, but meh. By the way, it's a two AAA setup for this thing. So that's the basic box. That's the whole basic box. So if you subscribe to the basic box, you got a shitty medical kit and you got a little pen light. Okay. Moving on to the basic plus, we're gonna add. Oh God, we're gonna add a real piece of shit knife. So this would cost you $39.99 with the total MSRP value of $57.97. They say that this thing is worth $28.99. Oh boy. Now there are good Smith & Wesson knives out there. This ain't one of them. This absolutely is not one of them. This is This is the kind where we won't ever be able to find out what the actual steel is on this thing, you know? And it's probably either 440A or like a 420. This isn't even, this is like gas stations are embarrassed to have this in them. What is going on? Can you see the off-centerness? Let me see if I can get that. Like the off-centerness of the blade. It's like mounted off-centered. Not even close. Yeah. Oh, look at that hot flipper action. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Wow. Great. Fantastic then. The best thing I can say about this knife is that it comes with a deep carry clip. But it's tipped down. There's already like flakes and scratches in the anodized aluminum handle. Ugh. Go. It can actually feel something rubbing in there. Like these plastic washers, one is thicker than the other. This goes down in the knife hall of shame. And the sad part is, you know, this is what really pisses me off. There are people that just don't know any better, that see the Smith & Wesson name and assume that Smith & Wesson has to be good because it's got a long, proud tradition of firearms excellence. Surprisingly, it cuts. I'm blown away by the fact that it actually cuts paper. I really am. But remember, I always say this. This is just a level of production standard leaving the factory. There's no telling how well that edge stays, and even a piece of broken glass can cut, you know? This is absolutely a giant piece of garbage. Like, this is the kind of thing that's on the rack in O'Reilly Auto Parts near the cash register. What is kind of cool is on the camera you can see it's got a little chameleon-looking finish on the handle. That's the only, I mean, there's only two good things I could say about this. This is a complete trash knife. This goes in the fuck you. All right. Basic Plus is complete garbage. In the Advanced, we have three things. Oh my god. Oh my god, I hate the Advanced. All right, so the Advanced box will cost you $79.99. Now remember, with the Basic Plus, the cost is $39.99, total value is $57. That includes all the stuff in the Basic also. So the Advanced, when the cost is $79.99 and the total value is $121.64, it includes the Smith & Wesson and the Basic Plus and... Wait, where am I going? Yeah. It includes all that and the Smith & Wesson from the Basic Plus and the Basic... You know what I'm saying? So in this, we're adding three items. So first, the Tactical Trauma Tourniquet with sheath. So these actually go together for a value of $39.99. So this is a rigid sheath pouch. Interesting. Moly type. I mean, it's like rubber, but okay. Let's see what we've got here. This looks like a knockoff of something else, which I can't, I just can't, it's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it right now, but, so it has your tightening down stick, which is nice, has a space to write the time, and I like it because it's nice and wide, which is cool. So you'd put it in there, you'd Velcro it down, and then you use this to start twisting to tighten down. I don't know, that's not a bad tourniquet, actually. I believe. Believe in the power of love. Now, can I make it go back in there? That tight little... Great. I'm an idiot sometimes. How does that go back in? How did I do that? Like this? And that folds back in there? That's not the worst tourniquet I've seen. Better than the rats, I guess. Everybody seems to hate the rats tourniquet these days. I have no idea how I did this. Or how this originally went. Oh, maybe it just went like this. Okay, I'm trying to overthink it. Now this, somehow, goes into this sheath, which seems impossible. Does this have instructions? I know how to put a tourniquet on. Does this have instructions for how to,
One eternity later.
All right, I might figure this out at another time. But this is a tourniquet I can actually like. It has good features. You know, it's easy to apply. You Velcro it on, and then you can use this to start tightening and make sure it is cinched down. And then once you get it to the tightness you want it, you position your stick inside there, and then that's a decent, and it's nice and big, so you're not gonna kill tissue beneath. I mean, you are gonna, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. This seems to be one of the only good things in here. I don't know, 40 bucks, probably find it cheaper, but that's not bad. Next, we have the silicone suture practice. Oh my God. If you are not qualified to do sutures, don't do sutures. You know what? Great. So you got the silicone practice pad. Fantastic. And then they give you, oh, and so that's $13.99. Then they give you 6 pieces of monofilament sutures. Great. You know what they don't give you? Any of the tools you need to do it. Nothing. Nothing. Where are your forceps and everything? Nothing. You get nothing. You can't do shit with this. You can't do shit with this without the right tools. So this is like, great. No instructions on how to do it. Okay, fantastic. This is like that first aid kit. It's like half a tool. It's like half a fucking thing. So do you know when you learn to suture in advanced medic classes, you use pigs, like pig skin, like actual pieces of pig, because pig tissue is very similar to human skin and everything? Yeah, that's what we learned on. So I mean, now this gives you the opportunity to learn on like some various types of, you know, different types of wounds, you know. And you know, so people always say, you know, people say tri-daggers are illegal because you can never repair the wound. Guess what? This is to practice those kinds of wounds, and yes, you can. But you need specific tools. You don't do this with your bare hands or with those little shitty blue tweezers. So an actual practice kit comes with forceps of different kinds and specific tweezers of different kinds, and you know, there's different kinds of sutures. There's not just 4-0 nylon. There's Vicryl. There's all kinds of stuff. So first of all, this should be one thing. This shouldn't be separate. Second of all, really, if you're not trained in suturing, I get it. In a survival situation, you can do what you need to do, but you could very easily, once again, I know there's the saving somebody's life versus the infection. If you are not, never mind. I'm not going to go there. But this is like half a thing. Now you got to go source the tools. You got to look up what you need. You got to buy the tools to do it. This is like crap. And you know what you can do? You go to the fucking supermarket. You can buy like a ham hock, like a pig leg, and just cut into it and suture it up. You can do it with a piece of steak. You can do it with a piece of meat, and then you can eat it later if you want. I mean, you know what I mean? You don't need this to practice suturing. So fuck that. All right, and then next, we've got the ultimate. Total cost there would be $119.99. Your total value of this box, $161.93. Gerber kettlebell frame lock. So where's the medical in these? So they say this is $39.99. I don't know. 7CR17 MOV blade. That's just one step away from absolute shitty steel. Yeah, you know what? Now, my thing with Gerber, my problem with Gerber is that I think a lot of their stuff is just tragically overpriced. There are some Gerbers that I really like. This one actually has a comfortable feel to it. I don't know where they're getting their medical, why this is in the medical box, but Gerber has a lot of EDC friendly size blades. The pillar is nice. The squid is nice. I like them. Steel frame lock. You don't get a lot of, you can't move the clip around at all. Wow, that is a tight clip. That has the potential to shred some pockets and stuff, but be nice if it's deep carry too. Be perfect. This is a perfect knife for a deep carry clip. But you know what? With the choil there and everything, some jimping would be great. This is a comfortable knife. I've never had this before. Great lanyard placement over there. It's a very comfortable knife. Where did I put the cutting money? I don't know what I did with it. All right. Very nice. You know what? It's sharp enough. I would maybe just strop it and it would be like super razor sharp, but out of the box, ready to go. 7CR steel is, like I've said this before, 7CR is the absolute lowest alphabet steel I would ever accept on anything ever. But, at first I looked at it and I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it. This is not a terrible knife. It's got a little weight to it, which I like. I like that. I've said that before. I like knowing I have a knife in my hand, I think with a little KPL to loosen it up, it would be good. I like that they use classic phosphor bronze washers in there. Yeah, with a little bit of a shot of KPL in there, I think that would get really smooth really fast as it breaks in. This actually is not, I know it has nothing to do with the theme. I'm not upset about it. I for this to be the ultimate box item, I think that's kind of silly. But it's not a terrible knife. And I like that it's, aluminum and steel, and I feel like there's a lot of customization potential in this knife. And this is something that I might carry. I've said this over and over. I'm getting into the smaller knife thing now that I'm, the longer the longer since my retirement out of uniform, the more I'm moving away from like these big, heavier folding knives, larger tactical type knives, to these smaller EDC type knives. And I think that this is the kind of big curved belly and nice fine point on the end. I think this, you can get your finger all the way on there for some fine point work. You've got a nice rocking blade on there for some, cutting, whatever. I mean, it's a nice shape. It actually is. I'm surprised. And it comfortable, even in big hands. It's a small knife. It's comfortable. It's a good knife. I like it. I think that this should have been maybe, instead of that crappy ass Smith & Wesson, could have moved this up to the basic plus and then put a better item in the ultimate. That's what I think. But overall, as a medical person, emergency medicine is huge in my life. Huge. This box is a huge letdown. The last few boxes have not been great, but I found stuff I liked about it. But this is just, this tourniquet, I'm going to figure out how to get it in this sheath, and I like this tourniquet. I think it's a, I can't remember what this is a knockoff of, but I like the original too. This is a good item to have, and I like that it has this rigid sheath. I just got to figure out how to fit it in there. This first aid kit is understocked and terrible. This is like, fucking terrible piece of shit knife. And this is like, I understand why somebody might be interested in it, but then give them the whole Don't make these two items. They're useless without each other, and then you're missing all the tools that go with it. But I like this knife. So, anyway, I really am anxious to hear all of your comments about stuff on this box. Big shout out again to Jason, who you know what, Jason, I want to hang out with you sometime. Gotta get together, hang out, have some kind of drink. I can't do alcohol, but you know, Mountain Dew is fine. But seriously, I want to get together with Jason and just hang out. He's an amazing dude. Really has supported this channel. I really appreciate everything he's done. Thanks for another great month of fun anyway, Jason. Yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you all for joining me for this. Remember that you are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll be back again real soon.